Okay, let's talk about the order of operations. And a lot of people think of the order of operations, they think of this phrase PEMDAS. And so we're going to be using this phrase to help us learn the order of operations. And this is absolutely critical for your success in mathematics. And you really start learning this, even in elementary school, but you really get serious about the order of operations in middle school and high school and beyond. So, over my years of teaching mathematics, I would have to say good majority of the math errors that people make when they're struggling in mathematics comes from their lack of understanding of the order of operations. So it's critical that you get this down. And if you get this down, you're going to do much better in mathematics. So let's go ahead and review the order of operations in this quick little video. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher. I've been teaching math for decades, and I've learned one thing, and that is that all students can be successful in mathematics, but it requires two things. One, it requires them being willing to do the work. Okay, so if you're not willing to do the work and study and do the homework, then you're not going to be successful in math. But if you're willing to do the work, what you need beyond that is clear and understandable math instruction. So that's where I can help you out. So if you're at the middle school, high school, or even college level, definitely check out my Math Help program. I'm going to leave links to all my information in the description of this video. By the way, if you're preparing for any sort of test that has a math section on it, I'm talking about things like the GED, SAT, ACT, maybe a teacher certification exam. I have a large library of test prep courses that you can check out. If you homeschool, got to check out my middle and high school homeschool courses. They were just voted #1 by a very large homeschool publisher. And if you need some math notes, again, I'm going to leave links to my notes in the description of this video as well. But let's talk about the order of operations now, and let's see how well you understand them. Can you do this problem? Now, everyone out there can come up with an answer. The whole idea is, can you come up with the right answer? So go ahead and do this problem real quick. You don't use your calculator. Just do this with a piece of paper and pencil. Take you all of about 15 seconds, but put your answer into the comment section. What do you think is the right answer for this problem? Okay, it doesn't look like it's that difficult to do, right? It's like, we're talking about division, multiplication, and some basic power. So everyone should be able to do this. So put your answer into the comment section. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you are going to get the wrong answer. Okay, you'll be shocked. But let's take a look at how most people would probably approach these particular problems. So here's the problem. Okay, we have 16 divided by 4 times 2 squared, and this is the same problem. Okay, so I did this problem two different ways, and each way seems fairly reasonable what I'm doing. Okay, but you can see I end up with two different answers. One answer is 1, and the other answer is 16. So let's go ahead and review this first way here. So someone could be like, all right, let me do this problem. 16 divided by 4 times 2. So maybe they'll go 2 squared. That's 2 squared is 4. That's 2 times 2. So I'll write that there. Okay, so I have 16 now divided by 4 times 4. Makes sense to me. And then I'll go 4 times 4. That's 16. So now I have 16 divided by 16. Of course, that's going to be 1. Any number divided by itself is 1. So that seems pretty good, right? I mean, it seems fairly logical. And a lot of you, I'm pretty sure, maybe even did the problem this way. Okay, but let's take a look at another approach that someone could have taken to do this problem. They say, okay, 16 divided by 4 times 2 squared. So they'll go, you know what, I'm going to do this first. 16 divided by 4. And of course, that will be 4. Okay, so now I have 4 times 2 squared. So now they say, okay, I'm going to do this now second. 2 squared is what? 2 times 2, which is 4. So now I have 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so, here I have 1, and here I have 16. We're talking about the same problem. Which one is right? Interesting, right? Well, the one that is correct is, drum roll please, it's this one. Okay, this is correct. This one is not correct. And a lot of you are going to be like, your expressions might be like, what are you talking about? I thought I knew this. Well, let's talk about what's going on here. Okay, well, first of all, what is the order of operations? What does that mean? Okay, well, mathematical operations are things like plus, minus, multiplication, and division, and powers. Okay, so these are mathematical operations, and which way do we do the orders? Well, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to circle back to this problem here in a second, but let's just go ahead and answer this question real quick, which I kind of already did, but let's be very clear about it. What is the order of operations? Well, as you can see, matter of fact, let's pull this problem here. Okay, I'm going to redo this problem and kind of like convince some of you out there that I did this right. Okay, so we'll bring this over here, and then we're going to do another example here in a second as well. All right, so what is the order of operations? So a mathematical operation is what we can do with numbers. We can add numbers, we can subtract numbers, we can multiply numbers, we can divide numbers, we can take powers of numbers, etc. So these are mathematical operations, and you can see that depending on what order we take, okay, here we're doing these operations, but we basically took different order in these problems. Here I did the order in one way, and over here I did the order in another way. Okay, I got two different answers. Which one is right? Well, that's the whole idea behind the order of operations. It tells us exactly what to do first. Okay, so when you're dealing with a lot of different operations in a math problem, the order of operations tells us, it's kind of a rule book, hey, what to do first. So let's go ahead and scoot this over here and talk about what that is. So the order of operations, as most people learn them, is something called PEMDAS. All right, PEMDAS. And there's a nice little phrase that helps us remember PEMDAS, and that is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So if you never heard that phrase before, well, people have been saying this for probably like 70, 80, 90 years, okay? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is a little mnemonic, a little phrase that you can use to help you remember PEMDAS. But what does PEMDAS mean? Well, let's go ahead and write it. Well, actually, I'll write it this way, PEMDAS, PEMDAS, and I'm going to write it this way as well, PEMDAS. All right, so the P stands for parentheses. Okay, so what you're going to do first, okay, when we're looking at the order of operations, is anything inside the parentheses, innermost parentheses, that's what the P stands for. So this is your order this way. We're going to do this and this, 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 this. You'll see here in a second. So P stands for parentheses or grouping symbol. So these are things that group two or more numbers together. They can look like that. They can look like this, like little squiggly brackets or even square brackets like that. These are called grouping symbols, but we use the P parentheses as just kind of our little abbreviation for that step. So you're going to focus on doing everything inside the parentheses. You're going to start from the innermost parentheses or grouping symbols you see. Okay, so the E stands for exponents. These are basically powers, okay? So you're going to do powers next. Things like 2 squared would be an E, okay? Now, M and D, this is where I would say the majority of students get confused. So M and D, right here, this is like one step, and A and S is like another step. So M stands for multiplication, and D stands for division. So this is multiplication and division, but here's what students think. They think that you must do multiplication always, always before you do division. That's not true, okay? You do whatever comes first from left to right. So in this problem right here, notice that I have D, division, here I have M. So this is DM. Now PEMDAS is MD, right? That's the way we write it. So some of you might be saying, well, you have to do multiplication before division. No, you do multiplication or division before addition and subtraction, but whatever comes first from left to right. So in this particular problem, okay, what comes first, division or multiplication? Well, division does, so we do this step first. Okay, so actually let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, and before we even do that, let me finish this up real quick and then we'll do this problem and do one other problem. So that's how multiplication division work. So whatever we see first from left to right, and then lastly addition and subtraction works the same way. It's whatever we see first from left to right. Okay, so let's go ahead and use PEMDAS on this nice little problem here. So we'll write it out this way, PEMDAS, all right. So are there any parentheses in this problem? No, there isn't, so we don't have to do that step. So we just move on to the next step. Is there, this is E, exponents, is there powers? Yes, there is, so we need to take care of that first, okay? So 2 squared is 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 16 divided by 4 times 2 squared again is 4. Okay, so that's our first step. So there isn't any more power. So now I'm going to move on to multiplication and division. So here I have division and multiplication. So I got to do whatever comes first from left to right. Again, left to right. So I'm looking right here. What comes first from left to right? This does. Okay. So this is why, you know, I like to put this type of problem out there, because most students will do the multiplication because they really firmly believe that PEMDAS means you always do multiplication before division. So that's why I'm really stressing this big time in this particular problem. So we're going to do this. 16 divided by 4 is what? That's 4. So now we're down to 4 times 4. Of course, that's the last step. That's multiplication, which will be 16. Okay, so that is the final answer. Okay, so that is PEMDAS, and now let's take a look at a little bit more interesting problem. So here, I kind of pre-wrote it out, and again, you know, this one little video is not going to be enough for you to master all this stuff right here. You're going to have to follow through and really practice this, because I'm telling you right now, as a math teacher, I've graded thousands, tens of thousands of quizzes, homework, tests, whatnot, and a huge majority of errors when students get a problem incorrect. And I'm talking algebra students, algebra 2 students, college algebra, pre-calculus students, even at that, come from making a little order of operation mistake. So you have to take your time with these problems and show your work in a nice, clear, structured way. But let's take a look at this problem here, and we'll put our little PEMDAS up here. Okay, so I'm looking at this. It's a bunch of numbers. I have all kinds of operations going on. I have division, multiplication, subtraction, addition, powers, parentheses. So what do I do, right? Well, I need an order. I need something to tell me what to do first, and that is the order of operations. So I'm going to start with P. Those are parentheses. Now I have a couple sets of parentheses here. This outer most bracket right here, this is a grouping symbol. Okay, that means we're going to focus on doing everything inside this bracket, this group. Okay, we're going inside of this, and then we're going to do the innermost groups. So we're going to focus on this and this separately. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. It doesn't make a difference. You can kind of work these simultaneously, but we're going to focus on the innermost parentheses, what's going on there inside these brackets. And then we have, of course, this set of parentheses and this set of parentheses. So let's go ahead and start with this problem right here. Okay, so here I have division and I have multiplication. So I think I made my point clear. So according to PEMDAS, I'm going to do, there's no powers, there's no more parentheses. So I'm going to do whatever comes first from left to right in terms of multiplication and division. Division comes first, so I'm going to do this. So that's negative 10 divided by 2. Of course, you need to know your positive and negative numbers to really do these problems in any sort of algebra course. So negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. So this is going to, the result of doing this is negative 5 times 5. Okay, so I'll get to this in a second. Matter of fact, let's just finish it up. So I'm not done with what I have to do inside the parentheses. So this step isn't finished until you completely finished with all the work inside these parentheses. So negative 5 times 5 is what? Negative 25. Okay, so now we're done with this parentheses, but let's move over here to this group, this inner parentheses on this right-hand side. So I have 3 squared minus 2. So what do I do first? Well, I have to, kind of look at this PEMDAS. So every time I'm doing doing something inside parentheses, I start fresh with my little PEMDAS checklist. I'm like, okay, there's no more parentheses inside my parentheses. Are there any powers? Oh, yes, there is. That's 3 squared. That's 3 times 3. That's 9. So that's 9 minus 2 is right there. Okay, so I'm not done yet, right? I got to finish everything inside that parentheses. 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, so we finished the innermost parentheses of this, what's inside this bracket, but we're not done yet. So now I have negative 25 minus 7, okay? So negative 25 minus 7 is the same thing as negative 25 minus 7. I can kind of drop the parentheses at this point because there's nothing else to do inside the parentheses. So this is the same thing as negative 25 plus negative 7, which of course would be negative 32. Okay, so that was the final result of what's inside these brackets, this grouping symbol, that P right there. So now I have 2. This number outside this bracket means multiplication. Okay, I'm not going to do any of that yet until I fully simplify what was inside this parenthesis. So now I have 2 times negative 32 plus 1. So what do? Do I do multiplication or addition? Well, this one's easy. You always do multiplication before addition and subtraction. So we're going to go 2 times negative 32 is going to be negative 64. And then I have this plus 1, so we'll carry that down. So negative 64 plus 1 is going to be negative 63. And that is the final answer. This is the way you want to do your work, okay? You want to make your, show your work in a super clear way so your teacher can grade your work. They'll be like, okay, let's see here. This looks good. This looks good. That person's doing, oh, look, right here, there's a little error, but because they did so much good work, I'm only going to take 1 point off. Yeah, that's, when it comes to math, all right, math is a game of partial credit because everybody makes math mistakes. I make math mistakes, okay, because math is a game of focus. And even if you know what you're doing, you just get slightly focused for whatever reason, something throws you off, you can write a number down. You're like, I don't even know why I wrote that. Okay, that could definitely happen. But if your teacher kind of will, basically you've shown enough work, you're like, yeah, this person knows what they're doing. They made a little error there. They're going to give you the majority of credit towards that problem. But if you just went from here to down here, with no supporting work, they're going to assume that you were doing what? You were like, You were like, you were like, I don't know what I'm doing. But this person over here, they know what they're doing. But of course, we all nobody cheats in a regular math class. It just doesn't happen, right? Well, come on now. I'm pretty sure I even did a little bit of that way back in the good old 1980s. But here's the deal. If you watch a video like this and you practice this, you don't need to cheat. You don't need to be looking at anyone else's paper because you'll know what you're doing, okay? And if this little video helped you out and you're like, yeah, you know what? I think I know what I'm doing. Well, that's excellent. Okay, then go ahead and maybe even smash that like button as a way to say, you know what? Nice job, Mr. YouTube Math Man. But here, I'm going to tell you this. Just because you've seen me do these a few little example problems, you're not going to get better at this unless you follow through and practice. You got to practice the order of operations a lot with a lot more difficult problems. I could put in all kinds of positive and negative numbers, decimals, fractions, powers, complex fractions. So these problems can get pretty, involved for sure. So, but the whole idea behind this video is to really give you a strong appreciation what the order of operations is and get you a good, strong introduction to PEMDAS. But follow through. So how can you follow through? Well, I have additional videos on my YouTube channel. And if you really want to learn this stuff, I would suggest any one of my algebra courses starting from pre-algebra and beyond. Okay. But again, the whole idea here is for you to not get overwhelmed and learn the basics. Don't try to do the advanced problems until you can do the more simpler problems. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. And if you need real, more help beyond this, again, take advantage of all the videos that I've made on my YouTube channel, which is 1,000+ videos. Okay, I've been doing this stuff for 10+ years. I make this for you. So there's a lot of free content that you can learn, but my best math help will always be within my math help program. All right, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.